Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Costa Rica Real Estate Investments with me, Richard Bexon, your host. Exciting podcast today, guys. Today we speak to Christian Arce of New Age Construction. Christian focuses in the southern areas of Costa Rica, so everything from Manuel Antonio to Uvita, Dominical, Perez de Leon, and even in the Osa Peninsula, which for you guys that don't know is very kind of heavy jungle, humidity, and also can get pretty wet as well. So it's going to be interesting talking to him about construction and also things to take in mind when actually building. So let's get straight into it. Remember, if you have any questions or want to contact Christian himself, all the contact details will be in the description. And let's get started. Hey, Christian, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Richard. Everything is unbelievable here in beautiful Golfito.
I can see behind you. Wow. Look at that, guys. Okay, Christian, you win the prize for the best background that is not a virtual background. So, well, anyway, yeah. Christian, I'd already given the introduction to the guys so they know kind of what it is that you do. I mean, if you want to give a better description of kind of what it is that you guys do here in Costa Rica, that would be great.
All right. To start, well, thank you very much to have me, to let me be part of this group, and also to hear a little bit about, my stories and what I do and how I make my living day a day. Okay, well, we start in 2010 a company here in the south of Costa Rica. It's called New Age Construction. We are specialists consulting and project management in different kinds of construction areas, from renovations to new construction. So far, we have the opportunity to work in, over 40 different projects in the last years, with very, very good results. Also custom, we are a specialist in new technologies, like automatizations and new products getting, that they are getting in this moment famous and popular here in Costa Rica. So we're a company that we specialize to help our clients to find a way to fulfill all the desires that they have here in Costa Rica, because sometimes they don't know how to get it done, right? They're in a different country with different language, and that is what we do. We're trying to help our clients opening those doors, taking down those barriers, and so far, so good. Okay. Everything is doing really good.
Well, that's awesome. When you say the southern area, I mean, which areas do you mainly work in, if you don't mind me asking? The reason I ask that is because I think you're there of like a client's dreams, but also is, if I'm correct, I already know the answer to this. The southern area of Costa Rica is hot, humid, and there's a lot of jungle, no?
Yes, it is. And especially, well, New Age Construction in this moment have 7 projects going on. Wow. We have a projects in Jaco, from Jaco all the way to 30 minutes away from the border of Panama in Pavnos. On the famous beach break, a beach surf break, yep. Pavnos. So we have, for the last years, working all over the place here in the south.
Okay. And go on, sorry.
Yeah. No, and also we just start a project in Corcovado area, also in the Osa Peninsula, but on the north side of the bay in Corcovado.
Wow. How do you get everywhere? Because I know that there's not great road networks around there. You must have are you flying, hiking, motorbikes? I mean, how do you get around?
I have several groups. I have a great team of people. We have in this moment 86 employees. We are a big company. We have 14 working trucks, that they are full-time moving materials, moving people. And also tools all over our building sites. We have 3 buses also to take employees to the different working sites. So that is what we do.
Christian, in your opinion, where do you think the real estate market in Costa Rica is at the moment? The reason I ask that is because if I speak to realtors, they say it's very hot at the moment, meaning they don't have enough product. Whereas online, there are some people who are like, I've had my product on the market for like 6-12 months and can't sell it. So, I mean, in your opinion, in the southern zone, what's the real estate market like?
Like everybody say, all the coastline is hot in this moment, but especially the good ocean views, not really overpriced, because, you know, I think that people that they are not selling in this moment is because they consider that they are sitting in the little gold mountain and they are asking ridiculous prices. You know, sometimes they don't realize that, you know, it is a lot in the market now that people offer. So if you have a good product, you're going to sell it. The thing is, you know, using the right strategy to get your product exposed, and with the right price, it's going to go. But definitely, you know, in this moment, we are developing a property close to Manuel Antonio Park between Quepos and Dominical in an area called Portalon. Yep. And that is an area that is growing pretty nice. You know, some areas like Uvita, even Golfito, they are a little too expensive. I think people are looking for new areas where the price, you know, the value of the land is not so high, and also they can get, you know, the good views. But that is the point. Ocean view all the way.
Okay. And I mean, so you mentioned there, you know, just going back to the hot areas at the moment, you said that people are looking for potentially, you know, good value. Portalones, as you were mentioning there, which is between kind of Quepos and Dominical. I mean, where else do you think the opportunity is at the moment? In which other areas?
Well, you know, to be honest, all over the South, you know, I think Guanacaste lose their magic already. And people are looking a little bit more for the green, for the jungle, for the water, you know, fresh water here in the South. So the whole South, it is unbelievable. You know, we are having clients requesting property all the way in Puerto Jimenez, Golfito. That was areas that nobody cared years ago. You know, 5 years ago, nobody asked to build a house in Puerto Jimenez. Now we have like 4 clients interested to build right there. Also, all the coast, you know, from Uvita, Ojochal, Cortez, all those areas are still pretty hot. So I think the house itself, it is a really nice spot to be moving to Costa Rica.
Now, I mean, again, as you mentioned there, as you developed quite a few properties over the years. And I mean, I think that, you know, developing something or building something in the southern area of Costa Rica, you know, has its, has its difficulties or challenges. In your opinion, what do you think those challenges are that maybe someone in Guanacaste maybe wouldn't have when they were building?
You know, in Costa Rica, every single municipality have different regulations. So the difficulties it is to get the right permits, you know, get the permits in the right way, because a lot of people pay or they do things, they cut corners, and in the end, they end up suffering. So if you have the professionals that they get the permits in the right way, you are all set. That is the major thing. And also be patient, because that is going to take time.
How long do you think that typically takes, if you don't mind me asking, just so that, because I'm sure people are gonna ask that question. I mean, how many weeks, months does it usually take in the southern zone area?
You know, to be ready to start to build from zero, to have all the permits on hand, if it is a new property that you're going to start to develop, you have to wait at least a year.
Okay.
But if the property already have water and power already in that place, you know, in 3 months, you'll be available with a serious professionals that they know what they're doing. In 3 months, they will be available to have everything ready to start to build.
So is your advice for people to buy basically land with water and electricity already, just because it's going to be easier and quicker in the process?
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, and do your homework, you know, do all your due diligence. Otherwise, you can be buying a piece of land that is impossible to build on it, because maybe there is no water available or no power available. So definitely, when people is interested to buy land in Costa Rica, they have to do their homework, study absolutely every single piece of paperwork, put a professional to investigate in order to move forward. Otherwise, they can be buying, you know, just a beautiful piece of jungle without an opportunity to build on it.
Who should, in your opinion, I mean, because I'm sure that the question's coming is, who should they contract to do that due diligence? Who's best to do that?
Well, depends. Here in the South, I use companies, you know, to do soil studies. I do with Geotechnia. That is a company from San Isidro that they do excellent work. Also, I have a group of engineers that we work together. You know, I'm an engineer myself. We work together and we help out, you know, our clients with water and power letters. We get all the information for them. So, you know, if somebody's interested to start the permit process, look for new age construction. New age construction have the experience and have the professionals ready to help you, and years experience and connections also. In Costa Rica, without connections, nothing moves.
Yes, I 100% agree. I mean, you were referred to me by I think Richard Hammond, who's an actual architect that we spoke to a while back. Richard spoke greatly of you, and I know he'd done a couple of projects with you. So, I mean, again, I would say to anyone listening to this, again, everything's in the description there of the contact for New Age. So just reach out to them for anything you might need. Just a random question about kind of building in the southern area. Again, just to the climate, the climate there. I mean, what typically do you have to do when building, or what things should you consider when building, like length of the eaves or ventilation, those kind of things, maybe in the southern area that maybe in the northern areas you don't need to think about?
You know, normally we recommend our clients to be sure about the construction system, because the construction system is going to determine how efficient the house will be regarding power and, you know, water consumption. So that have to be the more critical decision in order to build a house in Costa Rica. If it is going to be cinder block, if it is going to be light construction system. In this moment, we have years using light construction system, and that is giving us really nice results. You know, it's efficient, it's quick, it's cleaner, less environmental impact. So I think that is one of the systems to use. And also the humidity, you know, the right paints, the right plaster, the right roof. You have to really, really think about the amount of water that you are gonna have, you know, through the rainy season here in Costa Rica. So you really have to think about it, you know, when you are building in Costa Rica, that you have to fight against all the conditions. So the roof have to be a roof, you know, especially if you are in really salty conditions, you know, something that don't get rusty or don't get corroded really, really soon. And if you're in the jungle, you need to a roof that don't get full of funguses all the time. So that is, you know, when we do our, pretty much our advices to our clients, we consider especially where they're building. You know, that is a system called bioclimatic design. So that is something that we use in order to work with before anything is done, so the client don't get surprises in that. You know, we do a bioclimatic study, so we know the amount of rain and the amount of sun that he's gonna have through the year, so he can build according to this information.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone listening, I think that, again, I think building in the southern area of Costa Rica, in my opinion, is probably one of the more challenging areas, just because, as you mentioned there, from rain and its climate. I mean, it's spectacular, it's beautiful, it's biodiverse, you know, it's very unique part of the world. I mean, they say that southern area has like 4% of the world's biodiversity in, so it's very unique. But of course, with that comes the challenges. But again, I mean, you're in the middle of the jungle or rainforest with a stunning ocean view. So, you know, it's well worth it if you can deal with it. I mean, talking about this light construction that you were talking there compared to regular cinder block, I mean, how is the pricing different on that stuff? Is it much difference between the price?
Yes. You know, normally I tell my clients the price is difference is not in materials, it's in timing. It is in labor. So I do all my calculations, and we consider that the house is built 25% faster than with cinder block. So right there is the saving, you know, on timing and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we can consider 20 to 25% difference. It is gonna be the construction between light construction system or regular concrete block.
When you say light construction system here, what are you talking about here? Are you talking about basically kind of like a purling frame with Durarock, or what are you talking about?
You are right. Yeah, it is a building. It's a metal frame, and in the exterior we use a fiberglass sheet with Durarock. You know, Durarock in all the areas that is exposed to water, and fiberglass sheets in the areas that don't have direct water. And all the interior we use green panels it is resistant to humidity. And also we do cementitious plaster all over the place. So that wall is really protected, and we finalize it with a seal of paint, you know, a paint seal. And also we use elastomeric paints, anti-funguses. So in the end, the walls are super protected, and, you know, for less cost.
Give me a rough idea of how much a concrete block construction is per square meter. I'm just talking like an average cost with, you know, average kind of, you know, I would say, what they call here, you know, finishings. Nothing crazy, nothing over the top, no porcelain all up the walls and, you know, etc. But just like kind of like a regular thing that someone from the North America would be looking at. I mean, how much would they be looking for a square meter of that? And how much would they be looking for a square meter in the light construction system?
You know, we can talk in concrete block, a regular house could be $900 in a square meter. And I am really average. You know, if somebody, definitely, it is people that say, well, we can do it for less, but you know, you will see what you get. You know, you get what you pay for. So you can say light construction system, you can be thinking between 700 to 750 a meter, and cinder block 900 to 925, something like this.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's great information. I mean, I just built a office, as you can see here. This was built with Dorarok, and also it was very quick. I mean, they had it done in 4 weeks. You know, it's got a bathroom and shower and everything on it. The good thing was it already had some of these connections because there was water out here in the rancho. But I thought my wife was going to divorce me if I kept working from inside the house. So I moved out into the garden. So now I have my own space, but she's actually kind of slowly taking over, as most things in my house do with the women in my house. They take over. So yeah. But anyway, that's something different. I think I agree with you. I've seen a lot of that construction, the light construction. It's very quick, and I think it works very well. I mean, how long does it last compared to, I mean, do you have to replace that after like 15, 20 years? Or like, how does it last with regards to like cinder block construction?
That depends on the maintenance. You know, a house can last for forever if they have the proper maintenance. You know, painting the roof, painting the walls, you know, taking care of the funguses, taking care of the mold. If somebody do the proper maintenance, you know, light construction house is gonna last for years. It is the same thing with concrete. You know, if you abandon a house, no matter which construction system it is, the house is gonna go down. You know, it's gonna be really damaged in short time.
Okay.
So that don't have nothing to do about the construction system. It is mostly about the maintenance that people do.
So we'd spoken a while back. I don't know if you know Roberto Meza from Sfera Sostenible, but Roberto talked about eave lengths, also natural ventilation, you know, of kind of building, trying to keep air conditioning, you know, like basically costs down. I mean, what concepts do you try and build into your projects? Christian, if you don't mind me asking, I mean, what stuff do you recommend for clients to do when building, for things to think of in the southern areas?
In the southern area, we have to do a fusion. We have to do, you know, open ventilation, and also we need air conditioning units. You know, the air conditioning units is not. Well, let me have this a little clear. The AC units are mostly for the dehumidify the areas, you know, to take out all the humidity on the areas so don't create fungus and stuff. It's not to cool the areas. It is just to take humidity out. And, you know, the open ventilation works really good depending the elevation. Depending the elevation that you are, you know, it's better to work with AC. But like I say, in order to tell exactly what I work in one project to another one, we have to do all the bioclimatic studies. Otherwise, we're going to be working on the air.
Okay. I think that's great feedback, dude. Thank you. I mean, just so someone's up in North America, they're thinking about buying something in the southern area of Costa Rica. It really attracts them because it's kind of the real Costa Rica, if you know what I mean. The northern parts of Costa Rica are more kind of the cowboy areas, dry, cattle, sugarcane. The southern areas have typically been banana, you know, kind of plantation areas, but there's tons of jungle, tons of wildlife. And I mean, it's kind of that raw Costa Rica that people are looking for. I mean, if someone's up in the States looking to buy something in the southern areas, what advice would you give them, apart from come down here, of course? I mean, what would be your advice on finding a piece of land or something, or finding something that's pre-existing? What would you suggest that they do?
Okay, it's a series of steps to don't get burned in the process, right? Number one, get a real professional company or person to walk you through buying the property. Don't try to buy or save some money, you know, going direct with the owner or going direct with people, because in the end, you can be buying land without legal title or legal paperwork. So you need to work with people, you know, with companies or people that you can trust. Number two, when you are ready to start to make a design or start to think about building, also work with real professionals, people that they can show you their background, because it happened that well, you, Richard, they have years living here in Costa Rica. All the time you hear all these nightmares, about building in Costa Rica. The people get the scam, or they get ripped off, or they don't get what they want. It is because they trying to work with people that they don't have the background, or they don't have the skills, or they don't have the knowledge or the resources to do a really good work. So my recommendation will be work with real professionals that they can prove that they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think something that you said earlier was very smart. I mean, again, talking about the due diligence, I mean, I think that's really important for anyone looking to buy land, is the water and the electricity. Because again, you can have a beautiful piece of land, but if you don't have water to the property, or kind of like a registered well, and to have that checked out, I mean, it could be a nightmare. I mean, again, as you said there, you could have just a piece of jungle with a beautiful ocean view that you can't build on.
It is true. It is true, definitely. And especially now that the regulations are changing. I don't know if you're aware that, and September 13 last year, all the construction regulations regarding agricultural parcels in this country changed completely. So now we have new institutions, new regulations, new permits that you have to go through the college engineers and architects, and also the municipalities. So people say that they can help and they know about to work with these new regulations, but that is not true, because don't even the professionals know, because this, it is just established. So my recommendation it is that please don't try to do things by your own. Please get a professional, so you don't lose money in the process.
Where is your favorite area in Costa Rica, if you don't mind me asking, Christian?
My favorite area.
Yeah, where do you like to go to?
It is Uvita. It is Bahia Ballena. That area right there have everything. It have, beautiful rivers. They have a great ocean, good surfing, good fishing. It is easy to the biggest city in the south. It is San Isidro. It's only 30 minutes away from San Isidro. They have big hospitals. They have airports. So Uvita and Dominical are my favorite areas in the whole south of Costa Rica, because everything is close, and also you can enjoy so many different stuff really close.
Yeah. Well, I think that's great. I mean, if anybody wants to look at a map, it's to just basically follow the southern coastline down there, and you'll find basically everything kind of towards the bottom quarter of Costa Rica is where Christian basically is kind of mentioning there, and also talking about where he builds. So let me ask you this question, Christian, that I ask everyone. If you inherited $500,000 and you had to invest it into a business or real estate in Costa Rica, what would you do with it and why?
Really nice question. I already had done this before.
Go on then.
We buy a piece of land, build a custom home with a really beautiful design, build it with a really high standards of construction, and put it for sale. 1 year later, you will make 25-30% profit on it. Wow. So,
but you must, again, anyone from the States looking to do that must find a good construction company and a good engineer, good architect.
Definitely not just a construction company. Buy a company that can specialize to manage the project since the beginning until the end, even walk you through to the sale or the purchase of the land. That is what we do. What we do is that we give all the advices, all the studies, and all the paperwork to our clients, so they know what they're buying, and also the expectations of sales with the recommendations in architects, engineers, construction, and then sale. So that is what we do. We manage absolutely the whole process of the project.
Okay. I mean, just to give me an idea, because I'm sure some people are asking here is, I mean, if someone was looking to buy a piece of land here in Costa Rica and they wanted to do the due diligence and get started on it, is that something that you guys would offer to these people, or would you refer them out to somebody else?
No, we offer that too.
Okay. Yeah,
we offer it in the same package. We make a package, and that will be part of our, I can say a scope of work.
Yep. Okay. I mean, if someone was just looking to do the land part to begin with, just because, again, maybe they're not ready to build just yet, I mean, to do the due diligence on the property, I mean, how much would something like that cost, if you don't mind me asking?
Normally, we do everything cost plus.
Okay.
We like to present everything clear to our clients. So every single cost, it will be on the table. The client will know exactly how much everything costs. And normally we put a percentage. We negotiate a percentage with the client. That is our payment.
Sure. But I mean, I'm just talking about that due diligence at the beginning, to basically look at the structure of the land, make sure it has water, make sure it has permits, and then basically then kind of buying the property. That part, do you guys able just to manage that part as well? Or will you guys only do the whole project?
Yeah, we manage that too.
Okay.
And to give you an example.
A rough estimation of just how much that would cost, because I know that the listeners are going to ask it.
Yeah, that depends. If you're buying just a single lot or you're buying a farm to make lots and put it for sale, because the studies are different. So if you're just buying a land to build a house, that cost could be between $1,500 to $2,000. Okay. That is going to be all the due diligence and that. But if you're looking for a big piece of land, a big parcel of land to subdivide it, that depends of how big it is and depends how complicated. Because if we have to do all the surveying and, all the municipal studies, that could be thousands of dollars. It is hard to me say, but because that depends on the size of the land.
Well, I mean, I think the majority of people listening in here are probably looking to just buy kind of like, a piece of land anywhere from, 300 to 5,000 square meters, potentially more, but maybe not developed. But it's great to know about the development cost there. Christian, this has been great, dude. So informative for me. I knew that speaking to you, because you develop in the southern area of Costa Rica, because it's a very unique area, was going to be very kind of, eye-opening to me. And I'm sure that there's so much more that, we could discuss here. But I just wanted to know if there's any other piece of advice you have for the listeners before I say goodbye.
No, I think that we already see a lot of topics. We already talk about different scenarios. And what I can say to everybody, if somebody's listening right there and it's interesting to buy and build here in Costa Rica, I say, go ahead. You don't regret it. Costa Rica is beautiful. I can just show you a little bit what you will.
Come on, show us.
What you will be, enjoying every day.
Wow.
So all what I have to say is thank you very much to give me the opportunity to participate in this meeting, and hopefully, all my comments can help you out, guys.
Definitely. And as I mentioned there, I'll put basically all the contact details for Christian in the actual description, guys. You guys can comment away as well. I'll share everything with Christian and tag him and everything. So I'm sure that you guys can get a conversation going. But Christian, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I really appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You have a great day.